This is a Brooklyn-bound 2 train. The next stop is
Wall Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Not Your Advisor with NYU Grad on Tuesday, July 8th. I've seen the big uptick in both free and paid subscribers, so thank you and welcome aboard. If you're just listening to this podcast in the car, in a plane, really appreciate you. The whole mission of the podcast was to disseminate the financial markets and what happened today in under 15 minutes with no ads or politics that are divisive. Like, I have to talk about politics sometimes because it's in the news, but it's not like, oh, you got to be red, you got to be blue. Like, I'm very cynical in that stuff. But because there's a lack of volume in the markets, I guess Wall Street needs politics and headlines to move things around. The biggest news of the day really was all of this new tariff talks and headlines regarding particularly copper and potentially putting a 50% tariff on copper. But, at this point, we've seen this movie before, huh? So we'll see what happens. The July 9th deadline, which is July 9th tomorrow, was already kicked down the road to August 1st. I don't know if Wall Street takes these tariff discussions seriously anymore, to be honest, but we'll see what happens. So taking a quick look at the numbers, we had 302 new highs on the NYSE versus 73 new lows, 58% advanced versus 38% declined, 25% of stocks are below their 50-day moving average, and 40% are below the 200-day moving average. Now, the Dow closed down, as well as the S&P, not much. I mean, we're talking like 165 points on the Dow, which used to be a lot. But, with the Dow at 44,000, it's like 0.3%. And the S&P closed down 4 points. Really a nothing burger. We traded sideways all day, just playing computer pong with all the algos. The NASDAQ closed up 6 points. Whoop-de-doo, huh? Taking a quick look across the board at the Mag 7 and the mega caps. Tesla and NVIDIA did the best of the group. Tesla was up 1.3%, but it also was kind of all over the map today. NVIDIA was up 1.1%, but that's actually not as much as I would think because the semiconductor index itself was pretty strong as a sector. Taking a quick look at Microsoft was down about 0.25%. Amazon, with this beginning of Amazon Prime Day, you would think it would be up. It was down 1.8%. I did order my Tide and my dishwasher pods that I saved like 25% on. So I'm sticking it to Bezos. I delayed all my spending till this week, buying nothing new, nothing discretionary that I would normally not have bought. Garbage bags was also on sale, so I'm just kind of half jesting here. Consumer defensive was also red, but taking a quick look at the major sectors, energy was up the most, up 2.1%. Healthcare was up 0.5%, with technology up 0.29%. The remaining were red. So consumer defensive, as I noted, down 1.1%. Utilities down 0.9%. Communication services down 0.5%. Basic materials down 0.46%. Financials down 0.36%, which is not great. And consumer cyclical down 0.3%. I had noted to paying subscribers intraday on the chat that almost all of the major finance stocks that I follow were red, and that's not a great sign, to be quite honest. Summary of just kind of the volume. Another low volume session on the SPY. We had 58 million shares traded versus 74.9 million daily average. And that average keeps going down every day. Look, we're in July. We're in the summer doldrums. People are away with their kids. But we're going to have to see better volume patterns here. Looking at profitable companies that are making new highs on the session today, we had 10 in the NASDAQ including names like SoFi, Wynn Resorts, and Ulta Beauty. In the S&P to the upside, you had Moderna up 8.8%, Intel 7.2, Albemarle 7.21, Devon Energy up 6.8, Halliburton 6, Dow Chemical 5.7, APA Corp 5.6, Occidental Petroleum 5.5, on Semiconductor 5.5, Hess Corp 4.8, Schlumberger 4.5, Microchip Technology 4.3, SMCI 4.25, and Diamondback Energy 4.23. Almost every single thing that I just mentioned were either energy or semiconductor, with a few outliers. In the NASDAQ 100, you had Intel again, 7.23, Global Foundry, 6.9. I'll try to dedupe some of these names. Micron, 3.7, Discovery, 3.5, and Biogen, 3.3. A lot of movement to the downside here. In the S&P, you had FICO down 8.9%, First Solar 6.5%, NRG Energy bucking the trend here of the peer down 4.6%, Newmont Mining down 4.25%, AES Corp 3.9%, Enphase Energy 3.5%, Nike 3.4%, Hershey's 3.2%. JP Morgan was down 3.1%, as well as Bank of America down 3.1%. That's not great. In the NASDAQ, you had Datadog down 4.25%, Shopify 3.5%, DoorDash 2.2%, and Monster Beverage down 2%. Let's switch over to macro. I'm going to cover a few of the best defended and the Mag 7 real quick.
We can't forget that this is just a small taste of the in-depth analysis that Not Your Advisor provides. They don't just throw numbers at you. They connect the dots, find those hidden trends, and help you understand what's driving the markets.
If you want the full picture, you got to check out the full Not Your Advisor episode.
Don't forget to subscribe to notyouradvisor.com.
And all their premium content. I mean, it's like having a direct line to what's really going on in the market.
It is. It really is. They cut through all the BS and give you the kind of info that you just won't find anywhere else.
Think about this. Investing is all about making decisions that work for you and your goals. You're the one in control.
Not Your Advisor can give you the map, but you choose where you want to go.
And with that empowering thought, we'll sign off. Happy investing.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.